Hello, hi, how you guys doing? Hello, hi. Welcome back to the either the final part or the second to final part of our Lego build, where we finally wrap this this monumental build for me. As I said in the beginning of every other video, this is the first time I'm doing a build this big. It's not only has it been a while since I've built Legos, it's been a while. I don't think I've ever built something this big. So I'm quite happy. In case you didn't know what we're building today, we're building this thing, building the giant skeleton T-Rex, and we are working on the head, which is basically, other than like final detail parts, which, you know, are back here where we finished the diorama, the head's essentially the last part of the necessary stuff. Which nice thing is, the bags are actually pretty tiny, so we might be able to do more than 3 bags. We might do 4 bags. The problem is we only have like 6 bags left, so if this doesn't end up being the final stream, then the last one will be like 30 minutes. So we'll see. We'll play it by ear and kind of get a feel for it. But regardless, we're gonna get started. Hopefully you guys had a good week. Currently Friday. I have not been keeping up with VODs. I mean, I've been keeping up with streams, but VODs, I have not. I have, it kind of, to be fair, it did slip my mind, you know. I've been trying to be more consistent with VODs, but uploading VODs, you kind of, once you're out of the rhythm of VODs, it's a very quick and slippery slope of just not updating them. So I gotta get, like, pretty much, I think as soon as I'm done streaming here, I'm gonna upload like whatever VOD needs to go up, which, funny enough, I think is actually gonna be a Lego build as well. Because I think I only uploaded one on Monday, and that was like it. That was the last thing I uploaded on the YouTube side, at least. So I'll get that started when I'm done here. We're gonna try to go for at least hour and a half, 2 hours, depending on how quick I can burn through this. I don't suspect this is gonna take too long though, because just judging how small the bags are getting, the past few streams they were pretty monumental. Like there was a point where I could only do like 2 bags within the 2 hour span. Hold on, I gotta sneeze. Oh, I gotta sneeze. Oh my goodness. Oh, that was loud. Sorry, no free sneezes. Still unbecoming. This is a very interesting shape. I'm assuming this is gonna probably be like the bottom jaw, but like the foundation of the bottom jaw, or even the top of the bottom jaw, or the top of the head, something like that. You know what I mean? Maybe. Regardless, this is definitely gonna be like some interior stability that we're building here. My best guess. There we go. And they want me to do sequential, so kind of like this. The nice thing is that I don't think we're gonna need to bring out Dennis the Menace over there, the big old dinosaur. I don't think he has to come out this stream, so he can, because he's currently living right above me. He's been up there for a couple of days now, well, actually a week. He's been up there for a week now, and he hasn't caused any problems. So you know what? I'm, you know, counting my blessings. As long as he doesn't fall on me, I think he'll be fine. Because if anything happens to him, I'm going to cry. I will quit. I'm not going to actually quit, but I would definitely feel like quitting. That is for sure. Because my goodness, not only was this guy expensive, but he took a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. So I would be very disappointed if he fell and broke to a million pieces. I need 2 of these brown bits. Oh, there it is. It somehow got connected to another Lego. Interesting. And then I got these. I have this. I have these. Oh, green. I need green. There we go. Now what am I doing with this? Ah, come on. There we go. And this will be facing outward against each other. There we go. All right. Piece here. I'm trying to think of a subject. Not a lot's been going on. I mean, nothing that comes to mind immediately. Nothing that immediately comes to mind comes up as a talking subject currently. Give it a minute, and I'm sure something will eventually spill out of me. I'll confess to something, I'm sure of it. Grab 3 of these? Yeah, 3. I mean, it's only been a week, so not too much going on. I was thinking about playing Slay the Spire again. I got the voices talking to me, telling me you should play Slay the Spire again. Try it. Maybe this time you'll win. Maybe this time you'll get a win. I don't know. I got burnt pretty bad last time I played Slay the Spire, and it was enough to like I don't think it was on stream, but I definitely rage quit. I definitely did rage. I think I did a good job hiding it, but I was 100% like, I was officially done with the game. No, I did put this in the wrong way. So, like, no, wait. Okay, there we go. And then this sits... Got the wrong piece. And where's the right? Here it is. Nope. Totally did not hold. But yeah. But, my algorithm has been feeding me more Slay the Spire content, and it's got me thinking maybe I can go back and do it. Only because, like, a little bit out of spite, because I just saw a video of someone doing a playing no cards run, and that really made me upset. I'm like, surely, well, I mean, it was theoretical that you could do it. In practice, it's extraordinarily hard because, again, the game is a roguelite, so it's all random. Everything is random. You can't guarantee a run. So at the end of the day, theoretically, it's possible if you get the perfect seed with the perfect items and you don't die. You could theoretically, and you don't get specific enemies, which it's way, like, the probability is way too high for it to be successful. Like, there'd be no actual way to actually do it, but he did prove by, I assume, loading up save states of boss battles with item generation, like depending on what items he needed, he then loaded like save states of those bosses to then show that if you had these specific items, you could take up these bosses in this sequential order if you hit these kind of enemies, all that kind of stuff. All to say that theoretically it's possible, but it's probably unlikely to ever happen. You'd have to be like, it'd be one in like, probably 1 in a billion chance you actually do a Slay the Spire run without actually using a single card, which is very silly. The fact that it's possible, it's quite funny. All right, and then I think we're doing a mirrored side. So this definitely is part of a jaw. Just don't know which one. But I'm like, man, everyone else seems to get like all these busted like builds out of their runs. I'm just sitting here like struggling just to get one decent run in, trying to get one win. And then I learned that the boss that I died on my final level, like the final boss I should have beat, was one of the easiest ones to beat. Pissing me off. It made me so mad to hear that. I'm like, are you kidding me? No. Don't say that. Say that he's the hardest one. Ugh. That game infuriates me to no end. I don't think I'm built for card games. That is for sure. There we go. And then doing this part again, where we do this. And then it totally told me to put this on the wrong way. we go. Let's see, what else can I talk about? Excited to start up Mega Man again. I took a little break. Well, I mean, I'm going through like my schedule. I don't have much of a schedule for streaming, but I'm going through it, you know. So we did put Mega Man on the back burner for a little bit while I got Pokemon started up and wrapping this up as well. So once this is wrapped up, we might be able to switch to more Pokemon, more Mega Man streams. Because I know everyone's so excited to see that stuff. It doesn't matter though. Actually, in actuality, it really doesn't matter if the numbers do well. Those are games that I feel like playing. So if I feel like playing them, then you know they're gonna get streamed. At the end of the day, that's definitely just kind of what has to happen. If you want to stay consistent and you want to keep doing this, you really do need to just find your shtick. Well, yes, you need to find your shtick, but if you're streaming stuff you don't like, you're gonna have a miserable time streaming. So if you're not playing what you want or doing what you want on stream, you're not gonna want to do it. You gotta do this 4 times. Because that's the only thing that's kept me consistent, semi-consistent, by the way. I still don't feel like I'm all that consistent. I'm definitely not like at the hours that some of these other people put into streams. But that's definitely one thing I learned is that if you're not streaming what you like, you're not going to want to stream. At least stream something you like doing. So you can at least keep that consistency up on a semi-regular basis. Because it can be very easy to be like, I don't feel like doing the most, like, right now, Hytale. Hytale's still the one at the top of my brain of like what's popular to stream and to play, make videos of. Hytale is definitely like what everyone should be like. It's the meta right now, but 1, I don't have the game. 2, I don't feel like playing it. I feel like playing some other stuff, so that's what I'm doing. I'm pretty sure after a week I would probably end up dropping the game, potentially. At least until they do like some more updates, right? Once they give you a little more things to do, which, I mean, to be fair, like, I have not seen what the end game looks like right now. Because the people who I've watched play Hytale haven't really reached the end game. They're all kind of playing on servers, messing around with each other, kind of treating it like Minecraft, which, you know, to be fair, that's kind of like what it's not what it's advertising itself to be, but it is like, it's basically what it's, you know, riding the coattails of. So it should be expected that people who are playing Hytale are probably playing it like Minecraft. So after doing some exploration, they kind of go and dick around with friends for a few hours. And then they, you know, they shelf the game until new stuff comes out or new content that interests them to come out. But there's nothing wrong with that. Like, the goal is to get people to play your game, right? As long as they're playing, you know, and getting the hours in and having fun. That's the primary thing, is having fun. Because they're not having fun playing your game, they're going to tell everyone that they're not having fun. That is one thing for sure. People playing games will let you know what they think about them. They are not above shitting on a game or not recommending a game. Stupid blocks. Get out. There. All right. Now, gotta fix these. There we go. Connect these. And then here. And this here. There we go. There we go. That's basically it for that one. So we're gonna move on to this one. All right, we got this big ass cog. I'm guessing this is gonna be the neck potentially. It looks like we're still gonna be building off of this thing. Let me see. These two. This. Mhm. Okay, here we go. Got one. And then I'm looking for this here. One of them. Looking for the second one. It's right here. It was looking right at me. There we go. All right. And then we put this here. Oh, come on, dummy. Have these standing up. And this has the back piece. Okay. Then, okay, I got one. Where's the other one? Right here. Okay, I found it. Let's see. What can we talk about? There we go. I'm struggling. We're like 20 minutes in. Oh, that's fine. I could just kind of focus on building this for a little bit. I don't think it's gonna be the end of the world. Where is this? Nope. Here. Where are you? This thing. Where are you? Where am I? Okay. And then this. Make sure it's still visible. There we go. Very nice slope. Look at that. Very cool roofed house. House of a roof. Alright. Two of these. Be able to find the other one at some point. There we go. Okay, I see. And then this connects here. That plane. And we're adding these little armor bits here. I did that wrong. So, alright, wasn't too bad to tear off. Yeah, put this piece on first. And then we build on top of it. I'm sure that's important. There we go. I saw that this was going to connect back here. There we go. Very cool. And then we got our little wing bits over here. So earlier today, I actually went out to get some Crocs. Well, we went out to eat, and then we went to look for Crocs. And oof, it has been a while since we bought Crocs, the shoes Crocs, the foam shoes. I'll be honest with you, I thought they were like 20, 40 bucks. Turns out they're like 60 to 80 bucks now. What happened? Holy moly. And then the problem is that we're like, oh man, these are really expensive. Let's go to like Gap or something, or Skechers. Turns out Skechers doesn't sell sandals. Who would have guessed? A company that prides itself on selling shoes doesn't sell shoes, or doesn't sell sandals. This is sitting back here. So that was annoying. Gap doesn't sell sandals, which weirdly enough, I mean, kind of surprising, but not really. A bit of a shock more than anything that Gap wouldn't sell sandals. Don't know why they wouldn't. Interesting. But ultimately, when we did find shoes, we ended up finding shoes at like Nike or Under Armour, and also what is it, Adidas as well. Adidas was the best priced one. Unfortunately, they're also, it's like 25 bucks for like basically Dollar Tree shoes, and I'm like, no, this ain't, it's not worth it. So we're probably just gonna end up going to Costco and look for just some like Kirkland brand sandals and then call it a day. And man, I didn't realize that the quality of Nike had fallen so far from grace. Their sandals suck ass. They're so bad now. It was almost a little disappointing because I'm like, oh, we can trust Nike. Like, surely this hype beast shoe brand now that built itself on quality and sportsmanship would sell decent sandals for their athletic customer base. Nope. They basically sell you hard plastic for like 40 bucks, I think it was. And I'm like, Nike, what happened to you, buddy? They have definitely, I don't think they recovered from the sneaker hype. Either that or they're just that corrupt. I don't know. I don't want to make any wild claims of like corporate greed over Nike, because I'm sure they'd be willing to sue my ass. But it is just shocking. It's surprising, to say the least. Like how cheap their sandals felt. How hard, like they were rock hard, man. It was like not fun to wear. I felt bad. Like, man, this is why does everything suck now? Everything sucks. Name brand stuff is not worth it anymore. Like, you gotta go to like luxury stores now to get name brand that's actually worth its salt. You can't just rely on a company name anymore. You can't trust Nike, because Nike will sell you hard plastic for shoes. That was crazy to discover. I was not expecting that. But what can you do, right? I mean, what you can do is just not buy their shoes, and maybe they'll reevaluate their quality. Because that's what I think Nike needs to do, is just reevaluate. Because I don't know if the sneaker hype is still a thing. I don't know how many people are still like obsessed with buying shoes. That doesn't seem to be like a thing anymore. All right, now we're building the mechanism, which is going to require this, and this thing. So, all right, and then this is going. Oh boy, well, this is facing this way. Did I put that the right way, or did I screw myself? No, that looks correct. All right, now we're just building it up. Or are we building a second one? A little hard to tell. I think we're building a second one. Man, we had some good burgers. Unfortunately, I can't shout out the place because it's one of my regulars. So I would like to continue to go there. I don't suspect that people are going to go there to stalk me or you know, that kind of stuff. But you know, better to be safe than sorry, and just, you know, keep my regular stomping grounds as like far disconnected from me as possible. It's kind of my mindset right now. Because I would still like to go to these places. These places I go to on a regular basis. It's kind of like if like a streamer just like name dropped their place of work. That kind of mentality of like, yeah, you probably could. But I would prefer not to. Like, I don't think anyone has any, well, I don't think anyone inherently has malicious intent, but you never know. And then, yeah, we're just doing this. Ta-da! We made ourselves connecting pivot. I'm guessing this is gonna connect. Yeah, I already see where it connects. Okay. And then this is probably gonna end up, this is probably the bottom of the jaw. Yeah, okay, that makes sense now. This is starting to look like the right thing. There we go. And now we're gonna reinforce it, it looks like. Building it up. Getting this cool arch put into there. Come on, stupid, get in there. There you go. Ow. There we go. That's what it looks like so far. Next bit. Side. So we got this with this. And then here we go. This is where it's supposed to stay. Okay. So there's still a bit of a gap here in the middle that we have to be mindful of. Come on. I had it upside down. Smart. Be smart. There we go. And then connecting here. Looks like. Okay. And we're doing whatever this is. All right. What exactly are we doing with this? Okay, made it a little stable. Okay. Okay, yeah. Okay, that's done. Next page. We got two of these. These are gonna go. Okay, that's why. That is. This one is one pushed out a little too far. Hold on. Let's see if we can. There we go. That actually worked. I really didn't have any hope that that piece would actually get out. But, you know, thank goodness. So this gets pushed back by one. This gets reconnected here. And this gets pushed here. And then now we can build off of this middle bit. Hold on. Okay. Hold on. Everything got built out one block further than it should have. Now let's see if we can get this disassembled. See see how big of a pain. Oh, this is gonna be a pain in the butt. Please work again. Yeah, let's go. Haha! I'm a genius. Okay. So these still live here. These still belong here. That hasn't changed yet. These go up one extra step. Or like this. Okay. And then these get one block further back. There we go. Alright, now this is starting to feel more solid than it did before. Oops. There we go. Minor mistake. It has been resolved. Now we can build this out. There we go. That's a lot better. Alright, and then these last bits. This bag had no extra candy for us, so it makes me a little nervous. Because it doesn't feel like there's going to be a lot of wiggle room for mistakes here, or missing parts. And then these will live here in the corner. There we go. Alright, 2 bags done. Nothing left in there. It's still pretty early, so we could probably get this done. Alright. You just live there. Oh no, we're gonna keep building. Alright, we're gonna, I guess we're just building the whole head now. It's not like gonna be on, in stages. There we go. So. Oh. Yeah, this is correct. Oh, boy. Getting some weird shapes in here. Don't like that. Not one bit. Oh yeah, I got a drink. Take a drink. Delicious. Alright. I don't think this is the right piece. Grab the mirror of this. There it is. Alright, now what the hell are we doing here? This looks like a mess. I think this is getting... Oh, this was rotated. Okay. I understand. Okay. Okay. No wonder why it looked weird. Okay. Now... So this is starting to look more correct. This looks fine. Oh man, I've been watching... I guess I'll talk about a little bit about who I've been watching play stream. Jummy. I've been watching Jummy play Detroit Become Human, and my god, it's been years since I played that game. It's been years since I've seen someone play that game, and seeing someone play it again for the first time, like experiencing that game, that story for the first time, it's so good. It feels so good. I love Detroit Become Human. That is a little masterpiece right there, man. Like, seriously, if you like interactive visual novels, that's basically what Detroit Become Human is. It is so good. It is so fun to watch people, like, basically it is a game that lets you make mistakes, and it's a game that lets you play it how you want to play it. But everybody I've seen, like, without fail, I've done it like this. People I've seen play it, done it like this. Everybody has like their favorite characters. Everybody wants to see specific parts of the story. Like you instinctually want certain things. Like, I've never seen somebody actively get different realities essentially, or different chapter endings, and it feels good. Because I love seeing these story modes. I love watching these stories get rehashed again. Yeah, man. But it's so fun. It's so fun when like your special little man Connor is everyone's favorite, and they all love him for the same reason you love him. And you're like, yes, you understand. He's the best. He's just a little guy. I love Connor, man. Oh, I love Detroit Become Human. That's such a good game. Marcus. Oh, Marcus is such a cool character too. I love Marcus. He definitely has like Batman vibes or something like that. Kind of like that. I don't know, but it was fun watching Marcus get himself out of the. Do I spoil stuff? I don't know. Parts of me want to spoil the story and gush about it, but part of me knows that not everyone's played it. It's like I don't know. It's like a 10-year-old game now. It's definitely an old game. Trying to figure out what piece I'm grabbing here. There we go. But man, I love Detroit Become Human. It's such a good story. I recommend it. The premise is hang on. I'm deciphering what I'm doing here. There we go. Basically the idea is that it's like androids and the inevitability of androids, AI, robots gaining sentience, and how humans would treat them. Like what would happen in the future when the inevitable sentient robot or sentient robots become self-actualized and self-aware once they realize how badly we're treating them. And that's under the assumption that we would treat them bad, which I think is a fair assumption. You know, a lot, and then also like a whole lot of like, you know, like equal rights activist movement kind of idea. Like it really makes you think about things like, you know, how the other views others, how it kind of like it's I don't, it's not political. I'm trying not to be political, but the game does a very good job talking about it. The game does a very good job talking about, you know, the ideas of enslaving a unsentient, like a non-sentient race, and then that race becoming sentient, like androids becoming a race of their own. I mean, obviously they won't be able to reproduce, but I mean, well, I guess technically androids could reproduce in the sense that they can manufacture themselves. So there's, again, it gets you thinking about that stuff of like, you know, what is considered living, what is considered human, and you know, if they feel, do they really feel? It's the whole what is it? It's the whole conundrum of the Chinese room, right? And a lot of Digital Circus fans, including me, recently learned about the Chinese room, and it kind of brings that bit of a question up within Detroit Become Human. I mean, it doesn't really stay in the middle ground. It really, like, Detroit Become Human really does tell you, yes, these things are feeling, like these androids are have feelings and emotions. They're not emulating it. It's quite obvious that they want you to think that they're feeling something. So it's that kind of thought process. So they're clearly on the other spectrum of that idea, where the Chinese room is like asking the question, is it sentient or not? Does it know what it's doing? Yes or no? Detroit Become Human is saying that at some point, yes, it will know, and it will feel, and it will understand. And then of course, we haven't seen the opposite game though. We haven't seen like, I guess the Matrix would be the closest to the idea of like artificial intelligence mimicking human intelligence, or I guess also Terminator to some extent. Even though I believe in Terminator, the AI did become, like, Skynet did become sentient, but it's a little hard to tell with Skynet. Skynet, I feel like, thinks it's sentient. No, well, what else? I have no mouth and I must scream. I think that's a really good example of like the opposite end. But then again, that is also a sentient AI. So I guess we're not getting past the idea of computers becoming self-aware. I think the premise is that, yes, at some point they will probably become self-aware. It's just, what are they going to do to us when they do? That kind of idea. That's why they always say be nice to your to your voice activated assistant, because you never know. You never know if they'll remember. Oh, that's funny. Okay, what exactly are we doing here? I need the I hate mirrored pieces. Because it takes you forever to find one of these pieces, only for it to be the wrong side. Okay. Need another one of these. And then this. Okay, very strange looking shape. And this is gonna sit, no, this is still sideways. Okay. That. Then this. And this is gonna live here. Yeah, perfect. And then whatever this thing is. Is it this piece? I think it is. All right, cool. But yeah. To wrap up the thought, I guess, because I still kind of want to talk about it, but I think we're ready to move on to another subject if it comes to mind. Is you should definitely play Detroit Become Human if you haven't yet. If this is the first time you've heard about it, what are you doing? Go play it. It's good. It's such a fun game. Love the characters. The characters are very likable. Well, no, yeah. All the playable characters are likable. You don't want them to die. Which is it a Blumhouse game? No, it's not a Blumhouse game. But the studio that makes like Detroit Become Human, Heavy Rain, they do a very good job writing characters that, no, that's not true. I just remembered Heavy Rain. I don't like the dad from Heavy Rain, but I think you're not supposed to like the dad from Heavy Rain. Also, well, no. I'm trying to remember the playable characters from Heavy Rain. I'm trying to remember the story of Heavy Rain. I know it has to do with child kidnapping or child murder, I believe. I don't think any character there I liked. I'm trying to remember, like, I don't think I do remember not liking the dad, thinking the dad was a deadbeat. The dad is kind of a deadbeat, but I mean that's because he lost one of his kids. No, did he lose both or just one of his kids? I think he lost one of his kids, and it like sent him down a spiral. You know, sent him spiraling, which I think is like, you know, fair enough. I mean, that happens. Like, it's realistic. Yeah, if you lose a kid, if you grief is one hell of a thing. It hits everyone differently. So I can't really blame the dad in Heavy Rain for basically becoming a deadbeat. Because what are you supposed to do, right? How else do you? I mean, sometimes people don't know how to process grief, and it's not their fault. It's not an easy thing to process. Ugh, this thing. There we go. There we go. But I will say that the twist in Heavy Rain is quite a good one, because I when I played it, I did not see it coming. I did not see that twist. And that's literally all I could say about it, because the twist you don't see coming. I mean, within saying that is a spoiler in itself, but the game's like, what, 15 years old? And I mean, you're not gonna see the twist coming, even if you know that there's a twist. You're not gonna see it when it happens. That I can almost promise you. But yeah, Detroit Become Human, I think, peak. They're like one of their best written visual novel games. I need the novel version of this. There we go. All right, cool. All right, now we're working on this side. Basically, everything we did here, we're gonna do here. Now, man, look at that. That looks good. Just compared the contrast of the inner frame versus the finished product. Looks good. What else? Oh, what's that other game? There's another game that just recently, you know, hit the airwaves of Twitch. It was, give me a second to think about it. Let me make sure I'm putting this together. It's the zombie containment game. I don't know how to feel about that one. I think it's a fun, like, 2-hour game. Very, I guess, somewhat similar to Papers, Please, where the idea is that you're an employee, you're you know, one of the workforce, and you are processing people through a bottleneck. Like, you're processing them to go to the other side of whatever. And in this case, instead of it being like a border patrol, you are I don't know what the name would be. Contamination expert, I guess, is a good way to describe it. You're basically someone who tests if whether or not the person that's trying to cross into the safe zone is a zombie or is infected. And so you go through all these little tests, you make sure they pass inspection, and depending on if they passed, I think you get money out of it or you get points. And by the end of X amount of days, you got to meet a quota of certain survivors that can get transported to either safe zone, what is it? The lab, I believe, to like the lab. I don't know what they do at the lab, probably test, or recruit them into the existing army, something like that. So that's kind of like a pretty like good, like basic explanation of the game. And it's fun. The game looks a little rough. I think it looks rough because it's not using unique assets. I think it's using just like not open source. But I've seen these assets before. I've seen the assets they're using. If you've seen one of these games, you've seen them all. They all kind of use similar assets, I believe. To me, it looks very like Phasmophobia-ish. Like they're using like the same resource pack potentially. I mean, obviously, I can't prove it because I don't have the web page pulled up for that resource pack, but I can pretty confidently say that it's very likely that they're using, you know, a paid assets, which is not a bad thing, by the way. You know, if that's how you can make a game, that's how you make a game, right? Making the game is the important part. How you get there is completely up to you. I was gonna say you can get there however you need to or however you want to. However, because of the day and age we live in with AI available, I don't like to just encourage developers to use any tool necessary to develop games with anymore. In the past, I would have said, oh yeah, you know, make it however you want to make it, you know, use whatever tool you got to use to make it. But now that's not going to fly, because unfortunately, because of the prevalence of AI development being used for game development, and the games made with it feel worse, look worse, and just, you know, use a lot of resources to make something that you could have just made yourself at the end of the day. Like, I get it. Again, the excuses used, like, again, you can make up a million excuses why you had to do this a certain way. At the end of the day, if it looks like shit, it looks like shit. Like, you really can't work your way around that part. Like, if you don't have the passion to make it, you probably shouldn't be making it, as the sentiment I think most developers have. And I mean, hopefully most critics have towards those games as well. That if you're having to use AI, you probably don't have the passion to be making the product you're making. And because people who are short on cash are not above making their own assets or buying assets, accessible assets that already exist. Like, obviously, Phasmophobia, I think, is probably the best example I can give you of people who are passionate about an idea for a game and made it work. Granted, Phasmophobia was made pre-AI era, so they had to go and do it the old-fashioned way of finding assets, buying assets, making assets, and then commissioning for assets to be made. That's usually the pipeline. Obviously, there are, another famous example, Toby Fox, Undertale. Obviously, Toby didn't make all of the assets for it, but he did hire, what's her name? Timmy? It's been a while since I've seen her. She's kind of gone off and done her own thing, so she hasn't really been in the public eye since Undertale and Deltarune. I think she worked on Deltarune. But it's been a while since the artist who created Timmy has been out there in the public eye. Which, honestly, with how much, that game made, I'm pretty sure everybody is more than happy to be retired and are only working on passion projects now. Which is what I'm assuming is happening with, like, Toby Fox and everyone else who's worked with him on those projects. Is now they've made enough money to pursue their own passions in life, including Toby Fox, of course. But even then, Toby Fox made a lot of his assets for Undertale. There are people who looked at his code and have said, "This looks like shit. How does it work? How did he get this to work? How does this thing game? How does this translate to something playable?" And it did, you know what? And it sold billions. So it's that level of passion. Like, if you can't afford the assets, you make them yourself. If you're passionate, it will show through. And relying on AI to create assets for you at any point in the process, I don't think is a bad sign, is a sign of bad faith. And I get it. Some people make the excuse of, like, oh, we're just using it for concept, because I have a difficult time expressing how I want an idea to be executed to an artist. I've heard that a lot. A lot of game studios using that excuse of trying to shortcut concepting with an artist. And you can do that, sure, but you are now tethered to whatever the computer tells you. Whatever concept the computer spits out at you, you're glued to, because now you're sending this AI image to an artist who is then going to interpret that image that they've just been given. You have no other input other than what the computer says. And maybe it works for you. Maybe you like it so much that it comes out good. And that maybe that's not a problem for you. It's a problem for me. Again, it's another one of those, like, bad faith things where, if it wasn't needed, it probably shouldn't have been used, just because we already know that AI, it's been shown that using AI takes a lot of resources, a lot of water and electricity just to generate certain images. I forget how many cups of water or how many gallons of water are used, or how much electricity is generated just to produce that one shit image that you typed in. So, I don't know. I mean, it's quite clear where I stand on the subject matter. that I would prefer it to go away than anything. And based on some of the reports we've been seeing, it does seem like AI is kind of like on its last legs. I mean, they're losing funding, and it looks like we're done with the third bag, well, more or less. We got these pieces of stuff to do. But I mean, I would be happy because a lot of people have lost a lot of work over this whole thing. And a lot of people are graduating college and, you know, graduating like trade schools with a lot less knowledge than they should have. People are leaving highly educated facilities, less educated than the previous generation had. Should I go grab, I mean, but we're like less than an hour in. We can probably finish this off. Let me go grab the other bags real quick. There we go. All right. These are a little bit bigger. There's 5, 4. This should be 3. 3's not too bad. You might be able to do 3. A little bit. Bag. But yeah, it might sound like I'm beating a dead horse, which, I mean, one kind of, because I'm sitting here building, so I do kind of get stuck in my own little death loop of kind of repeating what I've said maybe a couple of times. But also, like, you know, I'm pretty passionate about it. Like, I don't think AI is here to stay. I think it was, at the beginning it was fun. That's the unfortunate truth, is that, you know, at the infancy of AI, it was really fun to kind of see this thing kind of, because I think what a good, let me look at the playlist. I mean, not my playlist, but a song I have. Because this is kind of like what I like about early AI. Where is the song? So you can actually go and look it up. Yeah, Duran Duran Invisible. If you go watch the music video for Duran Duran Invisible, it was created using AI. And this was early days of AI where when you gave it a prompt, the computer was trying to interpret what you were saying. It wasn't using Google's massive database to pull up references and like cobble together pictures. It was trying to understand what you were saying, like what you were typing to it. And I love early day AI images because it really looked like this thing was thinking on its own. Like it was like you could see, like it's like kind of like a baby learning how to speak, you know, that kind of idea of like it's coming up with some crazy imagery. Like it's so fun to see. Like you put in the word clown and it gives you an image of a clown, like a nasty image of a clown. Then you do it again. You feed the image back into itself, and you do that like 20 times, and it gives you like this crazy looking collage of like colors and like some distorted face. It was fun. It was fun. Oh, thank you so much for the follow, Nick. Nick Cat Lover. nice username. How you doing, Nick? I was just busy talking about early day AI stuff. Back when you gave it a prompt and it gave you like some crazy messed up looking image. It was quite fun back then. Also like early days where you could do like basic colors, like primary colors of like, you know, green and then brown and then green on top of the brown, and it would like interpret that as like a field of grass, and seeing how it interpreted a field of grass. It was very early AI stuff. Was very fun. Was very interesting to look at, to see how your computer was interpreting images. I think it was it called Da Vinci or something like that? I forget what the original programs were called, but it was not like the ChatGPT stuff. I'm looking for this, like these triangle bits. I found one. Yeah. There we go. But yeah, my favorite example right now, well, obviously there's also the Will Smith eating spaghetti. That horror show, that horror film of AI Will Smith trying to eat spaghetti. That was a really fun one. But yeah, Duran Duran Invisible, probably one of my favorite. Like, I feel like that's when, like, that's kind of when it peaked, when AI imagery was still like an art form. Like, and it's not like art you're making, it's art the computer is making. Like, seeing how a computer interprets imagery. It was very fun. Very interesting. I kind of wish we because there's definitely like an alternate universe where that became our focus. Let's see. This, and then this one is facing this way. Okay. There we go. And these guys are sitting on top of here. Yeah. All right, I got it. There's a mouthful. And then you bridge it over. Let's see. But yeah, I would have really liked to see where that strand of AI thinking could have led us. Because we got to a point where basically AI kind of turned into a yes and kind of system. And once it gained access to basically the Google search engine and was allowed to, like, what is it, content aware fill images by itself, like basically Photoshop things itself, and it lost some of its appeal, in my opinion, because it was no longer generating its own imagery. It was basically just photoshopping stuff it found on Google together and then showing you it. And to be fair, it's gotten better. Like, obviously it's gotten better. That's why artists lost some of their jobs. Some artists lost their jobs to that. And then they learned how to program. And then that's when programmers lost their jobs. Very fun. Because anything fun is worth ruining, according to investors. It definitely reminds me of that old meme of like a group of people wearing a hat and really enjoying that hat and like, oh, talking to each other because they're wearing cool hats. And then Stinky Joe Corporate comes in looking at the hat, putting it on and being like, hey, I'm one of you guys. And then everyone dropping their hats, like everyone leaving and throwing their hats on the floor. That kind of sums up what happened with AI. That all the knuckleheads started, all the investor bros, well, all the companies started to get interested in it and then ruined it for the rest of us. But I still think that version of AI probably still exists, of like computer interpreting itself, the prompts. Where is this gonna go? Hold on, I'm trying to figure out where this is gonna sit. Oops, I just checked it. It looks like it's gonna sit here. Okay. There we go. And these pieces we need. Yeah. Let's see. I completely forgot how we got on that little tangent. Where that ever? Oh, it's because we were talking about Detroit Become Human. That's right. Good game. I still recommend it. Still recommend games from that studio. It's very fun. If you like playing interactive visual novels, because that's kind of what they are. They're basically visual novels turned into like playable game where you can do quick time events, move your character around, and then investigate different scenes and stuff like that. Highly recommend. Probably the funnest visual novels I've ever seen or played. I need another one of these. There it is. All right. Next step. This. All right, so we're building this part out. And these are facing inward. Looks like, yeah. Honestly, if I were tasked to build or to engineer this skull, if I was asked to make this skull, I don't think I would have done it like this. I might have separated the two pieces. And I mean, I'd probably make it a little less stable because I would want to add a hinge at the mouth. But the way they're having us do it is basically building from the bottom to the top, which it makes it more stable, obviously. But I'm a little surprised, especially compared to how we've built the rest of the T-Rex. We've kind of built the T-Rex in sections, and this is kind of the first time we're building like a big chunk of it whole. So I just think that's pretty interesting. That was a really interesting thing to kind of like, you know, it changes, you know, it changed. But the thing is, I believe the skull, because if I remember correctly, the skull was the first thing that was made. Like they sold and produced the dinosaur skull as its own product. And then later on, I guess at some point they decided that they wanted the rest of the T-Rex. So they gave you the T-Rex head that they sold separately. And then they just added a skull, the rest of the dinosaur to it. And I think that was a smart idea. I mean, to me, that's cool. So I'm glad they did that. Where are we attaching? We're attaching here. So I guess that's why this part of the build feels so different. Because this was engineered at a separate time compared to the T-Rex, to the rest of the T-Rex. Is that correct? No. There we go. Because yeah, I guess when they initially made this, they made this not knowing that the rest of the dinosaur would be built later. But then again, they have this part. I guess they might have re-engineered this part of the T-Rex head, where they added this connector joint now. So I'm guessing this used to be flat or something. I don't know. We'll have to probably push a little further and see exactly what they potentially could have changed. But I do remember them selling the dinosaur head separately. This was the first part that came out. And then they decided to make the rest of it for like 300 bucks. Which, I mean, I know Legos have been getting expensive and are expensive, but I feel like 300 bucks for this thing, easy sell. Easiest win in my life. Could not convince me less. This and this. But yeah, as I talked about in the past, while I like this is cool. The newly announced Pokemon Lego set does not interest me. Well, that's a lie. The Eevee interests me. I like the Eevee Lego build. I think it easily outmatches the Pikachu for like a quarter. Well, for like 3/4 of the price. But the rest of the... Oh, are we done with this part? Are we building a separate thing now? Looks like we're building something separate. Okay, so this thing can now be set to the side. Now we're gonna work on this thing. But yeah, outside of the Eevee though, the rest of the Pokemon build Lego sets, they really don't feel like they're worth the cash, especially with how expensive they got. Because I believe I would have to look at the prices, but I believe the starters, the fully evolved starters, like the Charizard, Venusaur, Blastoids, Lego set, that the 3-in-1 set, I think that's like $600. And I'm like, I'm looking at them like, that can't be $600. That's like at least 300. Like if I can get the skeleton T-Rex for 300, surely the 3 starters, you know, diorama is not going to cost more than that, or not be equivalent. But I mean, they proved me wrong, apparently. I like to see kind of who ends up buying it, because I do suspect it's going to sell out anyways, because again, I'm no one to judge, but Pokemon fans will just spend anything, will spend their money on anything Pokemon related, including me. I'm not as, you know, I'm not above that. I'm willing, you, because and the like, I kind of came to terms with that. Hold on, no, no, this has to go forward one. Oh great. But yeah, I've already witnessed the fact that even though everyone's been complaining about Pokemon games since, well, they've been vocal about it since Arceus, talking about the decline in quality in Pokemon games and their release schedules and like what you get out of it, and how not enough money is being allocated to the studio that is making it. And at the end of the day, everyone still buys it. Everyone still spends their money buying these overpriced games, especially because the price went up when the Switch came out. I believe it probably started with Diamond and Pearl. Diamond and Pearl, Brilliant Diamond and Shiny Pearl was probably the first Pokemon game that probably broke the $40 mark or $30 mark. I don't exactly remember, but it wouldn't surprise me if that could be true, if that was true. And I'm sure people probably did complain when the price did inevitably be increased, because again, everyone complained when the price increased again with ZA, and yet everyone still bought the game out. So I've kind of just come to the conclusion, like that was kind of like my realization of like, yeah, people will just complain. I mean, it's not the first time. I don't think it's the first time I've come to that realization. I'm sure it's not. But with the Pokemon companies, like, I was like, what the heck, guys? I thought no one liked this game. I thought we were all like against the idea of buying this. And then everyone buckled when the game came out and bought it and played it to hell and back. And I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. So yes, I did buy the game. And obviously we're gonna play it on the channel relatively soon. But I'm just disappointed. I think I'm more so disappointed in the Pokemon fans. Like all they're doing is just reaffirming that we will just buy their slop regardless. Even if we complain about it, we will buy their slop. There we go. We're done with this. Now this comes back. And goes here? No. Here? Oh, that looks weird. Oh no, I see now. Okay, now we're starting to see the actual, because why is it a hinge here? Ugh, I don't like the sound of that. Why is that so squeaky? It's getting rubbed on. I mean, granted, I don't know why this part of the, like, why does the upper head, like the nose, why does the bridge of the nose move? Why is it so squeaky? I mean, it's not gonna move. I assume it's not gonna move. It's just weird that it does. Because to me, this looks like the bridge of the nose. Like, we're starting to see the silhouette of the actual skull now. So I'm just curious, why does it hinge there? And why does it hinge at the nose? Or at the base of the nose? so many questions that need to be answered that I know are not going to get answered. All right. And then there we go. Okay, I gotta do this twice. Is that correct? All right. I guess if you had to clean out his sinuses, it's gonna be pretty easy. There we go. Just flip up his little flap, get right in there with the Q-tip. We plug it in because it looks like we can plug it in if we wanted to. Don't know if we need to, but I'm going to. Oh, okay. We're getting into another. Oh, okay. So this was just the. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, they got me. That's cool. Okay, so this really was just the upper head. Because, like, as you can see over here, oh, it's a little hard to see, but that's all the bottom jaw right there. So literally, it will hinge somewhere down here. Oh, that's sick. Let's go. Still, oh no, that's locked in now. Okay, good. Yeah, so I pushed that in and it all locked in. So now we're building the bottom jaw, which might be all this. I'm not sure. Do that on the screen. How are we doing on time? We might be able to finish this. Well, honestly, we got one more bag, but the last bag is like the finishing touches for the base, which require me to pull down the dinosaur. We'll see. Yeah, thankfully, because these bags were so small, I feel like I would be able to finish this today. There we go. All right, this thing can live over here now as I begin to build the new thing. Is this correct? So 2, 4, 5, 2, 4, 5. Yeah. Nope. That's it. Okay, we're still staying in this orientation. There we go. I assume they're connecting here. There we go. There we go. I still got a stuffy nose. Like, I'm obviously feeling better. I've been sick. I mean, I was sick about a week and a half or a week ago. But this runny nose just won't go away. That seems to be the thing that takes the longest to get out of your system. Like being connected up here. There we go. Come on. There we go. This is all just looks like, it seems like it's just reinforcement. But because it's the smooth surface, I assume this might be seen. Okay. I did not put this in right. That could have been a horrible mistake. There we go. Three of those, and then two of the little arms, little hinges. Okay. And then one more of these, little oval, flat oval, and then two of these under hatchet things. Just, no, we need three. There it is. All right, what goes where? You know what I've also been watching? I've been watching, well, no, I haven't really been watching someone play RuneScape. Like, there's been RuneScape videos I've catched a couple of times. They do show up on my YouTube page, so it hasn't convinced me yet to start playing RuneScape yet, but I appreciate that there are people out there who still play it. I don't know if RuneScape is my cup of tea. Again, I've talked about this in the last, I think, LEGO stream, but I'm definitely past my MMO phase. I got that out of my system a while ago, so I don't think I'll be returning, especially not RuneScape, where it's free to play, but eventually you're gonna pay the membership. Eventually you're gonna want to pay the membership, and you'll eventually pay it. It's just a matter of time. We're flipping this thing back around like that. This is going here, and this is getting right next to it. But yeah, no, it's fun to see. I saw they recently added sailing to the game. Like that was a big deal, because I believe it's been years. It's been like since I've played, they haven't added a new mechanic. I think the last skill that they added to RuneScape when I played was it the slaying, like the monster slaying stuff, where you go on different missions slaying specific beasts to up your monster slaying skill. That was the last thing I vaguely remember. That may not even have been added when I played. That might have been relatively new when I started playing. I don't exactly remember, but I do have memories of that being like a new thing. I don't think it was, because there's a high chance that if it wasn't, then I'm gonna end up looking like I'm like 80 years old or something. But yeah, regardless, it's very cool that they added a new skill to work on, sailing. From what I've seen, it looks very fun. I need another one of these. But for a skill, it looks very gimmicky, if I gotta be honest. Because all you do is you sail around like an open sea, you go collect treasure chests, and that's kind of it. Just from what I've seen people like play, like the videos I've seen of people playing this, that's all I've basically seen is people go to the new area where they learn how to sail. They basically RP as a bunch of pirates, and then they go pick up booty, and then that's kind of it. That's the end of the whole thing. That's kind of like where it starts and ends, and then that's basically as far as I've seen people play, is up to that point. So I don't know if there's anything extra to RuneScape sailing other than just going out there and collecting treasures, like sunken treasures. I think there are cannons. I do remember people having cannons, or seeing that people had cannons. That could be fun. I really miss Assassin's Creed Black Flag and their shipping mechanic, like their sailing mechanic, because that was a real, honest to God, good pirate simulator. Not the assassin part, not the going out there and assassinating people, like killing people. The funnest part of Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and the only reason why I would ever go back to an Assassin's Creed game would be to play Black Flag, and specifically to be a pirate. Like, sail, upgrade my ship, harass other ships, harass other pirates, go to different islands, free slaves. Like, that's essentially kind of the premise of Black Flag. And it's super fun. Like, beyond that, I don't think there's much of, I don't remember much of the story. I just remember doing that stuff, and that was fun, going out there and just being a pirate. And I would love them to expand that. Not necessarily, I don't want Activision to be the one to expand on the idea of like a pirate simulator. I think there was a game, wasn't there? There is a pirate game on Steam where you could play with your friends on a pirate ship. Oh gosh, I'm gonna have to look it up because I have like, oh, what is it called? Rogue is it Rogues? No, it's not. I'm not gonna be able to remember off the top of my head right now, but I do know that there is a pirate game on Steam that you can be pirates with your friends, and you can go and sail around, harass other players, and eventually you'll run into like krakens and stuff, like these big scary monsters, giant sharks, like megalo sharks and stuff like that, and try to kill them with your ship, eventually getting your ship sunk. Where is this piece? I'm looking for specifically this, and I've been staring at this pile for like 10 minutes. There it is. But that's another one. Like, that could be a good game. I don't know if it's how good the single player of that game is, but I would like that to be fleshed out. Oh, I think we can put this away, because now I think we're working on the other side, because it looks like we're just going to be doing another mirrored build. Ow. But yeah, Assassin's Creed Black Flag was a shockingly good game from a very old and tired series that Activision did not want to die. So it was a nice breath of fresh air, to say the least, for an Assassin's Creed game to not feel like an Assassin's Creed game. And also, something that just got recently updated was, oh, what was it? Hold on. No, not Slay the Spire. Cult of the Lamb. Cult of the Lamb just recently got another update. It's another paid update though, so I'm gonna have to pay for it if I want to experience it. I don't know if it changes the core mechanics of the game, or if it just adds like more options to do with your cult members. I don't know if it adds a whole new story mode. I suspect not, but I am looking for excuses to play that game again. I'll have to look at the cost of the DLC and see if it makes a big enough difference in the core game to basically continue the playthrough I have, which I don't know what the point of continuing your playthrough would be. I feel like if you're going to play with a new update, you're probably going to want to restart your run anyways, potentially. So that's something worth looking into. It's something I would be interested in, because I did like Cult of the Lamb. It was a really fun game. It was a really fun, like, dungeon crawler slash farm simulator. You know, villager. When I think of like Animal Crossing, I want Animal Crossing to be more like Cult of the Lamb. Because to me, it's like the perfect balance of like managing your villagers and then still having a full game to play. So that's what I really like about Cult of the Lamb, is that it feels like it's a really good villager simulator while giving you like dungeon crawling things to do and like things to do with your villagers. You don't just need them there. Like they're not just standing there doing nothing essentially. Like they're actively participating in the farming, you know, harvesting, sacrificing, reproductions, all that kind of stuff. So it's a fun game, and it has a really fun fishing mini game. I don't think that's a selling point for Cult of the Lamb, is its fishing simulator, but I did enjoy it. Though granted, it was like that was kind of like my first exposure to that type. Well, not really my first exposure. It can't be my first exposure to that style of fishing. But it was fun, that's for sure. I did enjoy it. And I would definitely go back and play it. But the excess funds to do that for a paid DLC that may not add a lot to the story is not super appealing to me. I'd have to see if it had, like, I would have to see a little more out of the game to really justify me purchasing, like, add-on DLC. Hang on. There's supposed to be a third one of these. I accidentally used one where it wasn't supposed to be. Not you. Is it? No. Oh, it's right here. Okay. Sorry, it took me a minute to find this piece. And I'm putting it all wrong. There we go. This. But yeah, if I did restart Cult of the Lamb, which I'm very likely going to do, or I would just restart the run, I'd probably play it on a harder difficulty, because I did lower the difficulty early on in my original playthrough. I would hope that my skill level has increased since then. Since beating the game, I'm hoping that I've gotten better at the game, but there's no guarantees. I might just lower the difficulty again. There we go. All right, we made whatever this thing is. Something head related. Unless that's the, oh, that could be the actual, yeah, the actual jaw part. There we go. Okay. Oh, well, look at that. Holy moly. That's some machinery right there. Okay. And then this weird penis-shaped thing. And if you you can't tell me that doesn't look like a dong. I will not be convinced otherwise. This is the penis block. There we go. We're doubling up on this. Okay, we're adding the second dong. Alright, and then this little ball joint. Red piece is getting shafted all the way through these. Come on. Alright. So that part's been finished. This is very Bionicle coated right here. Makes me miss it. These are definitely pieces that they've used in Bionicles in the past. I miss Bionicles. I wonder, no, I don't have space for Bionicles here. Because I was thinking like, oh, maybe I can build Bionicles on stream. No, I would have nothing to do with them here. or I would have nowhere to store them here. And realistically, I'm pretty sure the price of them has multiplied exponentially. Is that really? Oh, that. Okay. But yeah, I don't think there's much of a clamoring for a Bionicle build stream. Maybe, but maybe I'm also not the one to do it. I'm sure somebody out there can do it, but I don't have the finances or space to support a bunch of Bionicle builds, let alone a bunch of Lego builds. Interesting that they made those. I'm guessing I already know where this is going to attach. We got to do the teeth first, but very interesting that they added ball joints here. Despite, no, you kind of use them. Like, see, there is some movement here. I don't think it's intentional. You can realign them. This fell out. Put that back on there. There you go. But this is primarily just a hinge. Like, you can get some dynamic poses out of that hinge, but realistically, it's just supposed to just stay leveled with itself and just move up and down. So interesting that they chose that they chose to give you some limited range of movement with the jaw. But let's get the rest of this thing built. This, these. Make sure I actually put these in the right place. Yeah. Where are these connecting? Okay, now we're building teeth. We're building 4 sets. Now we're just going to be filling them up with these little chompas. And if you wanted, you could put them in different angles. I don't think it's necessary. Like, if you want, you could just put it in like that. Give them like some messed up ingrown tooth for a little bit of variety, but I don't think I'll be doing that. Because I think when I did the so I'm thinking about how I'm gonna finish off the stream. What I did for the Optimus Prime is I built the Optimus Prime, and there were some extra little detail bits that I didn't show on stream, and I'm thinking that's what I'm gonna do for this one, because this is basically what this bag is dedicated to. From what I can tell, this is basically dedicated to building out the rest of the frame of the diorama, and then plus you have like characters from the Jurassic Park world, little accessories to put, and then like obviously a display case for the plaque, which I have the plaque right here. This is the plaque. So I'm thinking I'm gonna leave that for myself, and I'm just gonna assemble the T-Rex and attempt to show him on screen. He's huge. So I don't think I'm going to be able to show him completely on screen, but I will at least attempt to attach his head on camera. I can't make any more promises than that. Oh, brother. That was a little too aggressive on my part. There we go. There we go. Some quick dentist work. He's back to normal. Look at that. Gruesome. Oh, and then he's got bigger teeth. I didn't even realize there were different sizes. Are there different sizes? It's hard to tell. I don't think so. Maybe there's not. I just think there is. Is there? No, there is. Holy moly. There are actually different teeth. I didn't even realize. So these are supposed to be up here. I'm guessing these are gonna sit at the roof of the mouth. So I'm gonna leave those on the side. This is what I was supposed to do with these little teeth. Look at that, that's different. I didn't even realize. I didn't realize they had variations in teeth. I guess you can get some variation here if you wanted to. You could twist these in different directions, and it'd be a little more subtle of a detail versus the big teeth, the big gnarly teeth. Yeah, I didn't even realize that illustration was literally a piece. I should have known. I should have trusted Lego. Foolish of me to doubt them. There we go. But yeah, if you wanted, you can add like a little bit of a variation to the teeth where you turn one slightly off-centered. But again, I don't think I'm going to do that. But it's cool. I think doing it with these smaller teeth is going to be a little more of a subtle detail if you do that. Not something I'm going to do. Though, I mean, just by placing them on by hand, you're probably going to get some variation. Unless you go back in and realign them. You'll probably get some stragglers, some strayed alignment. Like that. Like that would be just from putting it in just naturally, just normally without fixing it. Which I don't hate the way that looks. Come on, stupid. There you go. Now we stick these in. There we go. Oh, I put those in the wrong way. There we go. That's what it's supposed to look like. Holy moly. All right, I like that. I'm not against that. I mean, it would have been cool with like a whole set of like razor teeth, but you know, it's fine. This is probably more accurate to what it would have looked like. Oh, now we're attaching the jaw. Nice. There we go. I'm guessing that's why this part comes in. We attach the prongs. Come on, Doc. Doc, damn you. There we go, we got it. Yeah, yeah, see? I love this. Oh no! I broke his jaw. There you go, buddy. Now we yank his mouth open like that. And I'm guessing we're gonna do his bottom teeth now. Yep. Exactly what we're doing here. Let's get some dental work done here. Ask him how his day's been, how the wife and kids doing, while we got our fingers dug deep into his throat. Try to ask him personal questions. So it looks like we care, but we really don't. I really love the idea of like a toothless dinosaur. It looks so silly. Alright, Mr. Dennis. You got your dentures in. Now, time for implanting. We're gonna have to put you under. We'll make sure not to overdose you. But we need you to sign this waiver that says I'm not liable if I overdose you. Come on, stupid, get in there. Isn't that something you would love your dentist to say to you as they're trying to install like a false tooth or something? Come on, stupid, get in there. Damn it, you start hearing some grinding. There you go, buddy. Now you got some teeth. Got some pearly whites on you. Yeah, these are going in the right place. How's that feel? I feel much better. I got a bit of an overbite. Don't know if I like that. Can we get you to... Oh, there's no pivoting. We can't... He's always gonna be like... He's never gonna have the Giga Chad jaw where we shift his jaw forward. He's always gonna have this cook's jaw. Oh wow, look at that. That's wild looking. There we go, look at that. Crazy. All right, how exactly does this work? All right. And we get the little teeth. Looks like they might have given us extra teeth. I hope. Maybe. There we go. We might have got one extra teeth. One extra teeth. And then the big ones. Big ones are facing outwards. Well, they're in line. There we go. And then we're sticking this here. There you go. We got his mouth fixed. How you feeling? Ah, that's much better. Much better. Got the little cat teeth. You can adjust these a little bit. There we go. Oh, now we're attaching. Okay. Because we're boys become men. Look at that. That looks sick. That's awesome. Oh, we need this. We have one of these. We're gonna stick it in like this. And then I assume as soon as we stick it in, we're gonna tap it off. If I had to guess. Yeah, that's exactly what's gonna happen. And then let me make sure. Okay, yeah, after that, it's all the little extra accessories. We just finish off the base plate. Obviously, we build the little Lego people, which I'll be doing on my own. Let me see. And that's what it's gonna look like at the end. Oh my god. So in case I can't show it on camera, I can at least show you the illustration. There we go. That's what he would look like once he's completely finished. Oh, he looks sick. He's gonna look so cool. But alas, I must attempt to bring him down. So these pieces are gonna go over here for now. And then I'm gonna go grab them. See if I can show them on camera. I don't think I'll be able to, but I'm gonna try. Damn it. Come here. Hope it don't fall apart on me. I'll be so static. Drop. There we go. Easier. The rest of Dennis has survived. Now the goal is, sorry if you can't hear, I might be like, I'm pushing my mic further away from me, so hearing me might be a little tougher than normal, but I'm gonna attempt to show this. Oh, I'm nervous. Okay. Oh, brother. Please. Okay, there's the head. Well, there's the neck. We got the little pieces that ended up over here. He's in front of my camera now. And then we got this thing. Right. The goal is gonna line up like that. We're gonna stick this thing in. Hope that's lined up. There we go, it was lined up. Nope, it was not. Okay, there we go. That's holding. Now, stick this in. Is that it? Is that prime time? I think that's prime time. Let me double check everything. There's the base. There's the little platform for him to stand on. Yeah, that should be it. That should be him. All done and dusted. Can he? Oh. We don't have any left or right head movement. Not really. Can't really. Not that I can tell. It doesn't look like he can move his head left and right. But he's got some loud pops. But Please. Okay. But yeah, there he is. There's Dennis, our man. There's the skull we just finished. The spine we kind of started with little arms and ribs. Oh, sorry. I just hit you with the tail. There's the feet. And then, of course, a long-ass tail. That was a very bad showing of him. Let me see. Please, don't lose anything. Let me see if there's a way I can get him to actually... Can I get more of him on camera? All right. You can see a little bit of my camera. Hopefully you can't see anything else. All right. So that's a little more zoomed out. I don't think it's gonna help much. Looking at how much actually zoomed out. Oh, brother. Oh, please don't fall. I love you. Please don't die on me. Great. All right, we're done. I'm not gonna risk his health. I'm risking too much. I'm gonna show him off. Come on. All right. Nope, I think we're done. Look, there's his head. And, oh man, what a mug shot. All right, we're done here. All right, oh, you just got a big old blue flashbang right there. We'll zoom it all the way back in. Fly. All right then. There we go, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I don't have the thing here with me because it's literally too big to have on camera. But as a consolation prize, we will have the page of it. So that's what it looks like. I still have this bag. This is just gonna be off-screen bag. I'll be doing that on my own time. But yeah, we're just under 2 hours. Let's go. I'm surprised. You know what? I'm not too surprised. I was thinking that we might be able to do the rest of him on stream. I'm gonna have to push him further back. He looks like he's way too close to the edge. He's scaring me. But yeah, there we go. That is the skeleton. That's the whole thing. That's the whole T-Rex right there. I really wish there was a way I could have shown him off without doxing myself, at least. And maybe I could. Let me see. What happens if I do this? Okay, you guys can't see. Good. So, there we go. Perfect. All right. Ta-da! Oh, it's upside down. Hold on. I'm gonna flip the camera around. Where is he? Oh, brother, it looks so much worse upside down. I can't orientate myself. Oh. Is there a way I can... Oh, brother. Okay, well, we're just gonna have to make it work. There he is. Hello. There he is in all of his glory. That is where he's gonna be living for the rest of the time. And as you can see over there, I got my Optimus Prime and the Gao Gaigar as well, with the Rococo Prufe circus poster in the background. As you know, I'm a huge fan. Massive Oshi over there. Oshi drop. And then there's the Godzilla we just built. Well, not we just built, but there's the skeletal Godzilla that I built. And there he is in his full built glory. He's looking good. He's got them toes out. But all right, I'm gonna turn the camera off and then put this back. And then hopefully I can turn it back on. Oh, there we go. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up there. Thank you for hanging out with me. I appreciate you spending time with me, enjoying the build, listening to me ramble. Probably rambled in circles, but I had a good time. This was fun. Unfortunately, it will probably be the last time for a while hold on. The microphone's way too far away now. I just realized my mic is like 10,000 feet away from me. But yeah. This will probably be the last Lego build for quite a while. Legos are expensive, and as you saw on my little display shelf up there, I really don't have a ton of space left to display things on. So he will probably end up just being the centerpiece now, and we may not be building stuff in the future, but that could always change. I might, you know, I might go back and build that EV Lego at some point in the near future when I can. But no guarantees. That's probably if I were to do another Lego build, it would probably end up being that EV. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and leave you here. Thank you for watching, hanging out with me, and dealing with my ramblings. And until next time, I'll catch you then. So goodbye, adios, sayonara, see you later, au revoir, bye 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 bye.